Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, aka the True Prince of Pro, and today I'm here to review episode 7 of AAA TV on Fox in Mexico. We start things off with the true El Grande Americano coming down to the ring to cut a promo. He runs down the original El Grande Americano and says that he's a fraud who has to use AI to cut his promos because he doesn't know Spanish. The true El Grande Americano sets up a live interview for right now with the original El Grande Americano to prove that he doesn't know Spanish. We cut backstage to Pimpinela Escarlata, who enters the original El Grande Americano's dressing room to interview him. When the original El Grande Americano gets frustrated and can't answer the questions, he attacks Pimpinela Escarlata. Our opening contest for this episode is a number 1 contenders match for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship, as it is Jack Cartwheel taking on Dragon Lee. This match starts off with a lot of beautiful counters back and forth between the two, before Dragon Lee catches Jack Cartwheel with a super kick while Jack Cartwheel was mid-flip. Jack Cartwheel then catches Dragon Lee with a crucifix driver and hits him with that springboard elbow drop that Jack Cartwheel does. Dragon Lee then follows it up with a big flip dive to the outside. Jack Cartwheel catches Dragon Lee with a standing Spanish fly in the ring. Dragon Lee counters a clothesline attempt from Jack Cartwheel into a sit-out Liger bomb. Jack Cartwheel is able to do his cartwheel up into a poison Rana onto Dragon Lee and then hit an insane springboard Phoenix Splash for a near fall. Dragon Lee catches Jack Cartwheel with the Styles Clash for an even closer near fall. Jack Cartwheel goes for a Hurricanrana attempt off the top rope but gets caught by Dragon Lee, who then hits a double stomp off the top, a seated running dropkick into the corner, and Operation Dragon to pick up the win and become the number 1 contender for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship, and one of the best matches that we have seen on AAA TV since they've come to Fox. After the match, Dragon Lee cuts a promo saying that he will become the AAA Cruiserweight Champion when he is interrupted by TJ Perkins, who says that Laredo Kid is a cheater and still owes TJP a title shot. That's when Laredo Kid runs down to the ring and starts fighting with TJP. During the fight, he accidentally knocks down Dragon Lee, which causes Dragon Lee to then enter the fight. And the fight then ends with Jack Cartwheel hitting a dropkick off the top rope onto Dragon Lee and posing with the AAA Cruiserweight Championship, thus setting up a future Fatal 4-Way match between the 4 competitors. The AAA Cruiserweight division continues to be the best division in all of wrestling, and I think whenever they do that Fatal 4-Way match for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship, that has a Match of the Year potential written all over it. Backstage, we go to the doctor, who says that Pimpinela Escarlata's injuries from the attack earlier tonight are too severe and will not be able to compete in tonight's main event. After that, we get a segment with the El Ojo faction, while El Hijo del Vikingo questions Dorian Roldan about his idea of having Omos in a Rey de Reyes qualifier match, because if Vikingo wins the AAA Mega Championship and Omos wins Rey de Reyes, those two would have to fight each other. Dorian tells El Vikingo that it is all a part of his master plan. We learn that next week we will see our final Rey de Reyes qualifier match, as it'll be Mr. Iguana versus Abismo Negro versus Santos Escobar versus Psycho Clown. And we also learn that Rey de Reyes will be a 3-week event this year, kicking off in 2 weeks when Dominic Mysterio defends the AAA Mega Championship against El Hijo del Vikingo. Backstage, we see Pimpinela Escarlata on a stretcher, and Pimpy asks the true El Grande Americano to enter tonight's Rey de Reyes qualifying match and to win it for Mexico, which he agrees to do. It's main event time as we have our third Rey de Reyes qualifying match, as it is El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Omos versus Ethan Page versus the true El Grande Americano. The match starts and Ethan Page immediately leaves the ring. When we see Omos throwing around Wagner and Americano, Ethan Page tries to re-enter the ring and form an alliance with Omos, but he gets immediately dropped by a big boot by the Giant. Omos slams El Grande Americano on top of Wagner. He then picks up Wagner and hits a classic Undertaker spot with the snake eyes in the corner and then the running big boot. Leave it to the Undertaker to be one of the only bookers who ever properly showcased Omos as the true monster he is. El Grande Americano goes for a running dive onto Omos on the outside, but Omos catches him and slams him into the ring apron. That's when Ethan Page rakes the eyes of Omos, which allows El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. to successfully hit an outside dive onto Omos. The 3 competitors all work together to slam Omos into the ring post. With the Giant down, the other 3 competitors start to fight each other as back in the ring, Ethan Page drops El Grande Americano with a pop-up power slam, but his pinfall attempt is broken up by Wagner hitting a big splash off the top rope. Ethan Page catches Wagner with a kick and then tries to rip off the mask of Wagner, and that's when he's interrupted by El Grande Americano, who hits him with a flying clothesline. Omos re-enters the ring and El Grande Americano brings the fight right to him, which ends with El Grande Americano and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. working together to throw Omos out of the ring. Americano would drop Wagner with a rolling Death Valley driver, and Ethan Page would enter the ring to try to steal the pin. Wagner would then catch Ethan Page with the Wagner driver and go for the pinfall when the referee is pulled out of the ring by Santos Escobar. Wagner and Santos would brawl out of the arena. Back at ringside, El Grande Americano and Ethan Page are trading shots back and forth before they're both caught and dropped by Omos. Bravo and Rayo Americano would run out of the ring to attack Omos. The pair outsmart the Giant and handcuff him to the ring post. Back in the ring, Ethan Page would go for the twisted grin before it was countered by El Grande Americano, who locked in La Cavernaria, and Ethan Page tapped out, but the referee was pulled out of the ring so he didn't see the tap. The original El Grande Americano comes down to the ring with a chair and he takes out Bravo and Rayo Americano. With the true El Grande Americano distracted, Ethan Page capitalizes and hits him with the Ego's Edge for an incredible false finish. La Parker then runs out to the ring and takes out the original El Grande Americano, which allows the true El Grande Americano to capitalize and hit Ethan Page with the loaded diving headbutt to pick up the win and finally qualify for Rey de Reyes. While last week's episode was one of the weaker episodes since this new relaunch on Fox, this was easily the best episode that they have done so far, with two phenomenal matches and a storyline throughout of the true El Grande Americano standing up for Mexico and Pimpinela Escarlata by qualifying for Rey de Reyes, where he will be able to get his revenge on the original El Grande Americano. Thank you for watching this review, and I look forward to talking more Lucha Libre with y'all in the next video.